Good morning. My name is Brittany Pitts, and I'm going to tackle assignment number one. And the topic that was of interest of me was cyberbullying and how it leads to suicides within teenagers. So, first off, cyberbullying leads to teenage suicide. We have here cyberbullying and teenage suicide, and you see that there are plus arrows at cyberbullying as well as teenage suicide because there is a positive correlation between cyberbullying and teenage suicide. So as cyberbullying increases, the rate of teenage suicide also increases. The articles that I chose, I read a couple of different articles actually, and cyberbullying totally piqued my interest. But first off, there was a article about Rebecca Ann Sedgwick, a 12-year-old Florida girl that committed suicide after online bullying. Then I went over to Confronting Cyber Violence in the Digital Age, which was an article that described how teenagers were actually being targeted by these anonymous predators, so to speak, and how they were cyberbullied and how it led to suicides, most commonly in females. So I'm going to go back to my PowerPoint and discuss the causal relationship between cyberbullying, which is the independent variable X, and suicide, the dependent variable Y. Cyberbullying is the independent variable because it determines the relationship to the observed outcome of the research, and suicide is the dependent variable Y because it is being measured as the outcome of cyberbullying. There are several different intervening variables, which are parental involvement and awareness, depression, and isolation. They're intervening variables because they attempt to explain the relationship between the X, which was cyberbullying, and the Y, which is suicide. As a result, cyberbullying and suicide have a positive correlation because as cyberbullying increases, suicide also increases. The intervening variables here, parental involvement and awareness, depression, and isolation, basically there's a correlation between parental involvement and awareness, which is negative because as parental involvement decreases, cyberbullying increases. The rate of cyberbullying increases, and as the rate of parental involvement decreases, depression increases, which is also a negative correlation. So I actually need to change this to a negative sign. And the feeling of isolation leads to depression, which also leads back to suicide. So that is a positive correlation, even though it's a negative end result. And that is my attempt to assignment number one.